Did you hear the news? The news about problem? The news about problem? You mean the fall of Afghanistan? Yes. Or the IPCC report on how badly we're doing at preventing climate change? Yes. Or the decades-long sustained process of suppressing wage increases compared to the cost of living, consequently widening the socio-economic gap between billionaires and everyone else? Yes. Or the increased media profile of anti-science, anti-factual commentators? Yes. So almost all major geopolitical and socio-economic problems in the world today? Yes. Almost all of them. Have you heard of almost all of the big problems in the world today? Yes. I'm trying very hard to not be overwhelmed by a feeling of hopelessness. It's difficult. Yes, the problems are all so complex, and it's not like pretty much all of them have one common, huge, easy to understand contributing factor that's within the power of governments to regulate, is it? What if I told you they do have one common, huge, easy to understand contributing factor that's within the power of governments to regulate? Wait, what? Afghanistan. Has anyone benefited from the past 20 years? Not America. No. Certainly not the soldiers, especially those traumatized, injured, or killed. No. Not the Afghan people, clearly. No. Even the Taliban have had a bad time, so not them either. No. So who? A small number of defense contractors and arms manufacturers, and their shareholders. They've all made big piles of cash. Who are their shareholders? Mainly extremely wealthy people, and hedge funds, banks, and investment firms. Where do the hedge funds, banks, and investment firms get their money from to invest? Mainly extremely wealthy people. Okay, what about climate change? 71% of CO2 emissions are caused by just 100 companies. And who owns, invests in, and makes money from these companies? Mainly extremely wealthy people. Suppression of wages benefits mainly extremely wealthy people. Degrading the quality of factual media by platforming lunatics. Good for viewing figures, benefiting the owners of the news channels and advertisers on those channels, who are mainly extremely wealthy people. The rise of fascism explains away decades of underinvestment in public services by blaming foreigners and leftists. Who benefits from the underinvestment? The people getting the biggest tax cuts, who are say it with me, mainly extremely wealthy people. But I thought wealth would trickle down. If by trickle down you mean the world's richest man will wear a child's cowboy hat and ride a giant dildo to space, then yes. That was not what I meant. Then no. But what can we do? What can we do to stop more space dildos? Taxing extremely wealthy people. The money we need to fix the very many problems in the world exists. We created it, and governments can recover it by taxing extremely wealthy people. Is this just a leftist thing? No. We're all in the same boat, left, right, and centrist. But people with 9-figure net worths are setting the boat on fire, not for warmth, but because they like looking at the flames and will evacuate to their private yachts as the rest of us sink. So we should demand our politicians do something. We should demand our politicians do something. Demand. It's the only way. Demand. Tell your friends to demand change too. Demand. Tell your friends to tell their friends. Demand. 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 Demand.